How you doing, YouTube? Mountain Master Beer Reviews. Back to get another review. A little bit of semi-local time. I moved to Jersey. Still very close to the Poconos. So it is still semi-local time in the form of Pocono Brewing Company. It's their Mauchunk lager. Yeah. Pocono Brewing Company. They've been around for several years, actually. They've been kind of like a... just like your old school kind of brew pub. But over the past several years, the new ownership, they've kind of actually went to actually brewing their beer as opposed to kind of fake brewing their beer. And it's new ownership, so it's totally different people. And they reached out to me and they're like, hey man, we'd love to get you some beer. They did that. I have some, and here we go. As far as what it says in here, it says Mauchunk Pale Lager, Pocono Brewing Company. On the back here, it says Mauchunk Lager revisits the roots of Jim Thorpe, back when it was the coal mining city that shaped the Poconos. It's light-bodied and refreshing, with a noble dry finish. Just as the making of a noteworthy city takes a little more time, so does the creation of a true lager. And that'd be that. Otherwise, it's all right. Their labels are very, very old school. A little bit too old school for me. But they're not bad. They're just... not my favorite, let's put it that way. So yeah, but label does not, a good label does not a beer make. Crack it out, see what she's got. Mauchunk is actually the name of Jim Thorpe, the town. Then they paid their family to bury, for Jim Thorpe to bury himself there. Well, them to bury him there, because you can't bury yourself. Well, you can, but not if you're dead already. Anyway, and they renamed the town Jim Thorpe just for, like touristy reasons. It's kind of weird. I live so close. It's the only reason I know such things. But I always found that kind of slightly morbid, but it works because a lot of people go to Jim Thorpe. So anyway, what do we have here? 2 fingers, just under 2 fingers. Kind of khaki colored head. Nice creaminess on it. Kind of like a little bit of grounded fineness to it. And, you know, microscopic to medium-sized bubbles from bottom to top. Definitely kind of in that, this old school kind of lager coloration. You know, rich yellows and a bit of kind of honey thrown in there. Maybe a little bit lighter than you'd expect, but that's your pale lager for you. So, let's see if we got a nose. There's something there. Outside of just a base kind of more like, I don't get a ton of lager vibes off it. It's more ale than anything else. But there's a little bit of something else there. It almost tastes like a little bit of a kind of, like a, maybe wheat, maybe even like a corn kind of vibe from it. I might go actually corn, like a corn adjunct. I don't think that's in there, but that's kind of what I'm getting in there. So you're getting a little bit of soft kind of ale vibes off it, nothing too crazy, no kind of yeast forwardness, a bit of sweet maltiness, and that's pretty much it. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, it kind of gives me a little bit of that kind of macro lager vibe to it, to where I feel like there's a bit of sweetness to it from like a rice or a corn kind of component. Is that actually in there? I don't know. I'm not getting really a ton of kind of like lager yeasty vibes from it. It's almost like someone brewed a lager with an ale yeast. And then, like I said, there's a little bit of sweet kind of corn, kind of rice, kind of macro lager kind of vibe to it. That being said, it's not a bad beer at all. It's made well. It's clean. I mean, this beer, I don't think there's dates on the can, but this has got to be well over a month and a half old. I picked this up when I was actually in the midst of moving, and it took me this long to kind of get to it. But it's a lager. It should hold up well. But I probably picked it up like a month and a half, 2 months ago, and there's really nothing as far as negativity in there. So it's kind of like the quintessential kind of step up from your kind of macro lager, because it has a lot in common to do with it. There's just a bit more kind of cleanliness to it, while albeit not gigantic, a bump in kind of vibrance and flavor. Not a bad beer. Nothing otherworldly. Just well made, clean, and really not much there as far as negativity. That's kind of what you want from a lager, though. I mean, there are some ones that really blow me away. Is this one of them? Let's cut to that chase. Is this one of the better lagers I've had as late? No, definitely not the worst, but definitely not the best, but it's quite a nice beer. You give this to me in the middle of just a drinking session or dinner or something like that, I'm all for it. Value and availability, I forget what these costs they were giving me, so if somebody out there wants to chime in on it and let me know what they cost, that would be fantastic, or I could look it up myself, but you know how I am. And anyway, brewery only, I believe. There's distro in the works, but brewery right now, leave you with, if you like what we like this. if you like macro beers and you want to get into the craft game, this is a very nice bridge. Conversely, if you like chugging just beer every now and then, dude, listen, you're listening to a card-carrying member of the Jenny Cream Ale fan club. So I love to chug me some beer when I'm just all about just chugging beer as opposed to analyzing or really kind of sit down and picking apart beer. This is going to kind of foot your bill without kind of getting all sullied and dirty by that macro kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Floor and filth? Maybe there? I don't know. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff, and thanks. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, all four of those places. If you want to check this dude out somewhere else, Massive Beer Massive. Type that into Google, your favorite podcasting app. Check me out doing the podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little lager right now, and maybe a little ale-based lager, but hopefully, I know that's not possible. You know what I mean. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.